Christopher Hitchens.
When Dr. Samuel Johnson had finished his great lexicography, the first real English dictionary, he was visited by various delegations of people to congratulate him, including a delegation of London's respectable womanhood who came to his parlour in Fleet Street and said, "Doctor, we congratulate you on your decision to exclude all indecent words from your dictionary." And he said, "Ladies, I congratulate you on your persistence in looking them up."
It is being said, judge a man by his questions rather than his answers. But in this case, Hitchens wouldn't fit this citation.
Absolutely convinced that the main source of hatred in the world is religion.
The intelligence of delivering his answers, aka hitchslaps, are being revisited all the time.
The salad of letters chosen by the magazine's correspondence editors criticizing me made me think I could write a sequel called How Some Women Apparently Can't Even Read, because where I had said, look, I'm not saying there are no female comedians, I'm not saying they can't do stand-up or a woman can't do it, you'd get a long, boring letter saying, I challenge Mr. Hitchens to a stand-up contest with this bull dyke I know in Portland, Oregon, who does a great stand-up routine. Well, that's not getting the point, is it, dear? And it's trying, I find sometimes, irritating, time-consuming, annoying when they don't listen.
His vast vocabulary, focus, and IQ gives him the power to dissect questions, deducting what would the asker likes to hear or not to hear, and then produces amazing answers.
First, they invited the intervention of 22 foreign ambassadors in Denmark's internal affairs. Itself a disgrace, the Danish Prime Minister quite rightly repudiated it.
Depending on the topic, Hitchens changes gears and style, but behind all that he always applies the same protocol. Hitchens applies 3 rules in every answer he gives. He always includes the audience by mentioning stories or common threats, whether they are there or watching remotely on TV.
I don't think they can easily be political. Politics isn't very funny. I don't find it amusing any longer. I think what one needs is actually not better politicians, but a better electorate and some better journalists.
Adding some intelligence and wit to his answers via historical facts, jokes, or some random out-of-reach vocabulary that most people wouldn't understand.
I've often asked myself if happiness is what I'm interested in. I mean, if it's what I want, I think I'd rather say I'm looking for satisfaction rather than happiness. And whenever you ask if you're happy, as you probably know if you've ever tried it, you're about to make the discovery that perhaps not as much as you thought you were, or you wouldn't be asking. The mind is on such a knife edge. Don't think I can say much more. I'd have to say so much more than that if I've said any more, so I'll stop.
He stops the interviewer or the debater from thinking of any other solutions by explicitly answering the question, which stops any possible interruptions and gives the ability of having a smooth chain of thought, hence a good answer, or what is being called hitchslap.
Christopher Hitchens.
I think that's a contemptible statement, and I think everyone who applauded it should be thoroughly ashamed of themselves. Do you think, really, that it's a waste of time and money defending free expression from suicide murderers? If you do, can you think of a better cause the money should go on?
Let's see this strategy in action.
If anyone thinks that there's a question, who's heard me, who thinks there's a question I answered poorly, or inadequately, or badly, or failed to answer at all, and would like to challenge me, I'd happily give them 5 minutes. But
Hitchens already put the bar so high by using the word challenge. This way, he already narrowed the possibility of even being asked. But there is always someone who is strong enough to do it, of course.
please.
If there is no God, why do you spend your whole life trying to convince people that there isn't?
The asker already made a mistake by making a statement rather than asking a proper question. And you can hear Hitchens laughing at him already.
Was the
Another fact that the body language of the asker is all messed up. Hunched posture, square crossed legs, and trying to act comfortable by doing random gesture or drinking water or whatever. Hitchens picks up on all of that, and his voice tone changed. He chooses to be nice at first, giving room for doubt that maybe this man doesn't know his career or doesn't know anything about him.
A major preoccupation of my life, though, in the last 8 or 9 years, especially since
Then he includes tragic history to paint a bad image in the asker as well as the listeners' heads.
September 11, 2001, to try and help generate an opposition to theocracy and its depredations internationally. That is now probably my main political preoccupation. To help people in Afghanistan, in Somalia, in Iraq, in Lebanon, in Israel, resist those who sincerely want to encompass the destruction of civilization and sincerely believe they have God on their side in wanting to do so.
Now the answer has two layers, a proper one for the audience and a subliminal one just for the asker. Then Hitchens uses a sudden move to get attention and changes the tempo.
The thing, maybe I will take a few minutes just to say something that I find repulsive about especially monotheistic messianic religion. With a large part of itself, it quite clearly wants us all to die. It wants this world to come to an end. You can tell the yearning for things to be over whenever you read any of its real texts or listen to any of its real, authentic spokesmen.
The facial expressions on the asker says it's all. He knows he got trapped and he can do nothing about it.
Those who talk, there was a famous spokesman for this in Virginia until recently, about the rapture. Say that those of us who have chosen rightly will be gathered to the arms of Jesus, leaving all of the rest of you behind. If we're in a car, it's your lookout. That car won't have a driver anymore. If we're a pilot, that's your lookout. That plane will crash. We will be with Jesus, and the rest of you can go straight to hell.
Then Hitchens goes deep in citations and verses, making remarks about Muslims and Jews to make sure that he puts all the religions are kind of the same and not only attacking Christianity, separating himself as unique and not siding with anyone else.
You can tell it when you see the extreme Muslims talk. They cannot wait. They cannot wait for death and destruction to overtake and overwhelm the world. They can't wait for what I would call, without ambiguity, a final solution. When you look at the Israeli settlers, paid for often by American tax dollars, deciding that if they can steal enough land from other people and get all the Jews into the promised land and all the non-Jews out of it, then finally the Jewish people will be worthy of the return of the Messiah. And there are Christians in this country who consider it their job to help this happen so that Armageddon can occur, so that the painful business of living as humans and studying civilization and trying to acquire learning and knowledge and health and medicine and to push back can all be scrapped.
He includes words like
death can take over. Hideous thing, a hateful theory, but
from here he would conclude his answer in a very happy and sad way at the same time.
Very much to be opposed in our daily lives, where there are people who sincerely mean it, who want to ruin the good relations that could exist between different peoples, nations, races, countries, tribes, ethnicities, who openly say they love death more than we love life, and who are betting that with God on their side, they're right about that.
Also plugging in his book, of course.
So when I say, as the subtitle of my book, that I think religion poisons everything, I'm not just doing what publishers like and coming up with a provocative subtitle.
But at the same time, his body language and words shows that he is sincere.
I mean to say it infects us in our most basic integrity. It says we can't be moral without Big Brother, without a totalitarian permission. It means we can't be good to one another. It means we can't think without this. We must be afraid. We must also be forced to love someone who we fear. The essence of sadomasochism, the essence of abjection, the essence of the master-slave relationship, and that knows that death is coming and can't wait to bring it on.
And to conclude it, he throws a combo for the asker by saying,
I say this is evil, and though I do some nights stay home, I enjoy more the nights when I go out and fight against this ultimate wickedness and ultimate stupidity. Thank you.
The asker can do nothing but take it on the chin and live on.
And with that, as people tend to say, I rest my case.
Thank you so much for watching, hope you enjoyed this video, and please leave your opinion in the comments below.